Welcome back, Patriots, to the Bald Brad Show. Starting Monday, April 1st, the state of California is increasing its minimum wage from $16 an hour, which is already wild, to an insane amount of $20 an hour. This is not an April Fool's joke. This is really happening. And we got a clip here from Fox News where a small business owner is talking about the impacts it's going to have on her as well as her friends. Let's roll it.
Speaking of prices, California's mandatory minimum wage for fast food workers will jump from $16 to $20 an hour on Monday. Businesses are scrambling to find ways to offset the extra labor costs. They say in many cases, customers will just end up eating the difference. But LA restaurant owner Angela Marsden, she's got a lot of concern about this and about her friends and their businesses, and she joins us now. Angela, when I was reading some of your thoughts about this, I have to say I felt heartbroken by it because I know what it takes to be a small business owner. Although I've only had a small business on my own for a little while, it's a lot. All of that responsibility, all of that worry, and this just feels to me like you're on a knife's edge right now on whether you can continue.
Dana, those of us that are still here are lucky to even be alive from COVID. We are the ones that were strong enough to be the mom and pop shops that survived COVID. And now we're hit with this. And it directly impacts the small businesses. And for people to think it doesn't is crazy. We have massive layoffs that's going to happen. I actually have a friend, his friend has 7 McDonald's. She's a franchisee's owner. She's going to be closing 4 of them. So we're going to have massive layoffs, massive job losses. And when it comes to being a mom and pop shop, if you can get $20 an hour dropping fries at McDonald's, what do you expect you want me to pay to make a nice meal or a nice hamburger? My hamburger currently is going up to $20-some an hour. Reddit is $25 for a hamburger, a fries, and a soft drink. So imagine you're going into your neighborhood pub and your hamburger and fry is now costing you $26.
Wild.
I mean, literally, Gavin Newsom, I hope the United States is watching.
Let me know in the comment section below, do you guys think somebody should get paid $20 an hour to flip a burger, put fries in a deep fryer, hell, sometimes just heat something in a microwave, and not even that, scoop already cooked food out of a bin onto a plate and hand it to somebody? Do you think somebody should get paid $20 an hour for that type of work? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's continue.
I hope he never becomes president. This man is destroying California.
Correct.
I don't understand why people can't see that he's the biggest trickster of all time. He literally is saying, I'm going to help everybody. I'm going to give them $20 an hour. And now they're getting laid off. They're losing their jobs. And by the way, who's paying for it? It is a silent tax on the public.
Correct.
The public will pay for the unemployment of the people that are let go. The public will pay the $26 now for the hamburger. The lower class, middle class, upper class has been completely shut out. They can't even afford to go to McDonald's, let alone come to my place.
By the way, to just show you how bad things have gotten, specifically in the state of California as well as New York City, basically these Democrat-run areas, it was cheaper during the recession in 2006 to 2008 era to actually feed a family of 4 at McDonald's than it was to go to the grocery store. Let that one sink in. No longer is that the case anymore because you have the cost of labor shooting through the roof in all these places where now a middle-class family and lower cannot afford to even go to McDonald's anymore at a reasonable price. Insane, which is why I've cut myself off predominantly from a lot of fast food. I'll usually just hit up In-N-Out because it's still somewhat of a reasonable price. But even that's almost $11 for a double-double, a fry, and a drink, which is still insane to me. But damn, it's In-N-Out. It's good. Let's continue.
And businesses are collapsing. Small mom and pop shops.
Correct.
I don't even know if I'll be here at the end of the year. I am working hard with my staff. I am doing everything I can to increase revenue because it's either increased revenue or I shut my kitchen down. My kitchen, who's been here since 1978. And I've cut my bookkeeper, I've cut my hours. I have a girlfriend that doesn't even have food. She just has straight liquor. She's trying to sell. She's not even making money. She's looking for a job while she's trying to sell her business. It is literally making way for corporations and big conglomerates. People with a lot of money will be able to have a business, but your mom and pop shops, they're not going to exist. And Dana, that board I'm being told that he put to oversee, is planning on getting the minimum wage up to $25 an hour in 2 years. People need to wake up. This is like when you go out to the circus.
But the thing is, a lot of people aren't awakened to this because they don't understand any of this, because they don't teach them any of this in school. And by the way, majority of Congress has no business degree. They've never ran a business in their life. They have no idea how business works. This is on Republican and Democrat side of the aisle. They've never read a book about business, but they're telling all of you how to run your business. And she keeps bringing up small businesses here, which it used to be 80% of America, and it might still be the stat still today. 80% of America was about 20 employees or less, meaning small business owners. And a lot of people keep implementing this whole idea of, well, let's just increase minimum wage because it's not going to have any effect on people whatsoever. It does have effect on people whatsoever. And when they say, well, it's only affecting these franchisees where they have only a certain amount of restaurants compared to these small business owners. But what she's mentioning here is the market is competitive. And so if you can get $20 scooping food onto a plate like you just saw from Chick-fil-A on the screen, or Chick-fil-A, what's that called? Chipotle. I mean, hell, both are the same thing practically. You're both putting food into a wrapper on a box and giving it to somebody. If you're going to pay $20 to do that type of job, she's going to have to charge $20 just to get people to sit there and put in applications, or maybe even more, because maybe she doesn't have the same insurance as some of these places do. She doesn't have the same benefits as some of these places do. Whole different ball game taking place here. And by the government increasing the minimum wage up the wazoo, it is putting a lot of people's jobs in danger and a lot of people's ownership in danger, because they're not going to have a business any longer. And this is how you carve out a state. And the Democrat Party is doing a damn good job of carving out not just inner cities, but also states at this point.
And the guy has a big fancy trick he's showing you. Meanwhile, somebody is stealing all the money out of your pocket.
Correct.
Because this tax is being passed on to the consumer. It is a silent, hefty tax, and it is creating a wealthy and a poor. We have no middle class left. And
But remember, you guys, just the other day, Joe Biden, specifically Karine Jean-Pierre, was going after junk fees. Oh, well, we got to lower the cost of goods and services. But yet you have Democrats implementing a minimum wage like this, where it doesn't sit there and decrease the cost of things. By the way, that's going to create more demand in the grocery store, possibly, because people aren't going to go buy burgers. They're going to go buy stuff and produce at the grocery store, which, guess what? If there's a big demand and not enough supply, what happens to your prices at the grocery store, folks? Those go up as well. This is how the economy works. It's basic economics. This affects everything. And by the way, you getting paid $20 minimum wage for a livable wage, whatever the hell that means, doesn't mean that it's actually going to be a livable wage in the next 5 years, because the cost of everything else around you goes up. It's a vicious circle and cycle, but they can't wrap their head around this. They just continually want to get paid more and more money, which, by the way, with the advancement of artificial intelligence, these robotics that can actually fold clothes and do almost a basic job of what it takes here to do a flipping the burger, doing fries, which is already an automated store in Burbank, California, that's fully everything automated, you're not going to have a job whatsoever. So you're pricing yourself out of the market, but the Democrat Party doesn't understand that. These woke libs don't understand that. They just hear $20 and go, woo, it's so exciting. It's exciting until you're out of a job, which is going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years with this automation and this artificial intelligence.
I don't know. I don't know what LA is going to look like a year from now, or 2 years from now, even.
Correct.
All the mom and pops, are we still going to be here? Most of them I talk to are not making SBA payments. So, by the way, taxpayers, now the SBA loans are going to go in default, and that's going to be on the taxpayers too. So, I don't know the end game here, Dana. I don't understand.
Angela, your passion comes through. Your tenacity certainly comes through, and I think that the people of California, they're lucky to have people like you who are brave enough to come on our air and to really explain to people what is going on in your state. Thank
Dana,
you.
I honestly think, I've thought about this, and I just want to put this out there. Sure. I think Newsom's trying to usher in AI. Honestly, he's basically going to get rid of the franchisees owners with the McDonald's and the corporate places, because the franchisees owners cannot afford this. So now the corporations are going to justify having all AI fast food.
Yeah, you can see that. You can imagine that that's where things are going. Angela, let's stay in touch. We appreciate you.
I think that's where things are going as well. And again, I just kind of reiterated that previously, where there are fully blown restaurants, fully automated already. They'll still have an employee in there kind of handling some customer service issues, or maybe there's some sort of maintenance that needs to be done on these robotics, but it is already happening. It is guaranteed to be happening. McDonald's has already been working on this for quite some time, as well as Taco Bell having a fully automated drive-through, AI taking your order and communicating with the chauffeuring out of of OpenAI within itself, of having this conversation with a language bot. It is only a matter of time, you guys. In 5 to 10 years, you have Tesla coming out with fully robotics, limbs and everything. They're able to fold clothes, walk around the house. They have robots already that can do a fully cooked meal, open up your refrigerator, take out the produce, identify it, chop it up, put it on the grill. Folks, this is happening, and what people don't realize is that you are going to price yourself out of the market to the point where it's just financially beneficial to get a robot to do your job than it is for you to be hired. And then what people are going to complain about is robots taking over their job. So they implement a law later on telling the restaurant owners, oh, no longer can you have robots. You need to employ so many human beings, or you need to replace that robot. No robots allowed in the workforce because now you priced everybody out of the market earlier with the minimum wage increase. I agree with this woman, man. I don't understand what the end goal is here. Is the end goal a livable wage? Because how do you define that? Everybody's livable wage is different. And I know I'm on a rant, but you guys enjoy the rants. I was just at Lazy Dog the other day. It was like 2 days ago. An old fashioned, which was probably about the size of this cup right here. An old fashioned, for the boys and gals that know it, it's my favorite drink. $13.50, where the ice cube probably took up at least half of the glass, right? The round cube. $13.50. I almost fell out of my chair. And then I got a bison meatloaf. It's just bison meat wrapped with a bacon around it, and then it's just placed on top of some mashed potatoes. Take a guess. Take a guess on how much that was. $30. So I spent $43.50 plus $7.50 for a tip. I spent $50 roughly on a meal for myself for mashed potatoes and bison meat. Now, I'm not complaining in the sense of I did it myself. I shot myself in the foot. I get it. But it just stops me from going out to restaurants. And then people are going to complain the fact of, oh, why is my food so expensive? Well, you increase the labor. Because you increase the labor, everything else goes up. Everything else is already going up through the roof around the state anyways. Your electricity is going through the roof. Your leasing is going through the roof. Your insurance is going through the roof. And nobody can figure out, well, why is this happening? Well, there's a lot of reasons for it. Oh, and by the way, when there's not enough people to sit there and pay the bills, the prices also increase. You can't just keep decreasing the price, especially when you're trying to offset the increase in labor that's happening all the time. It might just happen another 2 years with another freaking $5 minimum wage. Dude, it is so head spinning. I can go on freaking for hours about this minimum wage increase, the effects on it, on just on a locality level, franchisee levels. If you look at these McDonald's, like she mentioned, some of them are going to have to close down because they don't have the increase. They don't have the gross to sit there and inherit this type of cost. They don't have the revenue for it. They don't have the money. So they have to close down. But people just see these McDonald's going, well, it's a huge corporation. It's global. They can eat the cost. No, they can't. But these people don't understand business, you guys. Like I said, the majority of Congress never owned a business, never read a book about a freaking business, doesn't know jack shit about businesses, but they're going to tell you how to run your life, your business, and how to do everything. Insane, but enough of me ranting, folks. Hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment down below on what you think about this whole ordeal. And I will see you next time here on The Bull Brad Show.